Hello everyone, this is Vanshika Tainwala, legal intern on the Lexis and Company for the month of June, and today in this video I will be talking about the concept of ad hoc arbitration. I will be talking about the basic meaning of ad hoc arbitration, the relating provisions relating to it, and the how it is different from the institutional arbitration. So now to start the video, in India up till now the arbitrations have been synonymous with the ad hoc arbitration. So basically in an ad hoc system of arbitration, the parties are required to make their own arrangements for the selection of arbitrators, for the designation of their rules, the applicable law, procedures, and the administrative support. So the ad hoc proceedings are more flexible than an administered proceeding. So the arbitration agreement, whether arrived at before or after the dispute, might simply state that the dispute between the parties will be decided by the way of arbitration, and if the place of arbitration is designated, it will suffice. If the parties cannot agree on arbitral detail, the problems and questions attending the implementation of the arbitration, for example, how the arbitral tribunal will be appointed, how the proceedings will be conducted, how the award will be enforced, it will be determined by the law of the place designated for the arbitration, that is the seat of the arbitration. So this was held by the Honorable Supreme Court in the landmark case of VJS SGS Soma joint venture versus NHPS Limited, as well as also in the case of Brahmani River Pellets Limited versus Kamachi Industries Limited. So basically ad hoc arbitrations are considered way more flexible, which enables the parties to decide upon the dispute settlement procedure. This would require a great degree of effort, cooperation, and expertise of the parties in order to determine the arbitration rule. So also ad hoc arbitration is less expensive than the institutional arbitration, as the parties only pay the fees of arbitrators, lawyers, and the costs for conducting the arbitration. This is so because in an ad hoc arbitration, parties always tends to negotiate and settle the fees with the arbitrators directly, which allows them the window to negotiate and reduce the fees. However, such arbitrations were hit by the procrastinated manner in which the proceedings were being dragged, and the exorbitant fees that the parties end up paying. So the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act of 2015, it tried to find a solution of these problems by fixing the timeline for conducting the arbitration and regulating the fees of the arbitrators as well. So whereas the institutional arbitrators are one, where a specialized institution with a permanent character intervenes and it assumes the functioning of the arbitral proceedings as provided by the rules of that institution. So it is pertinent to note that these institutions do not arbitrate the dispute but provide the facility and the infrastructure to the arbitrators to arbitrate the disputes by laying down the specific rules for each arbitration. So what is of relevance here is that the institutional arbitrator centers, be it domestic or be it international, are governed by their rules which provide for strict timeline which needs to be adhered to, within which the arbitration within which time the arbitration is mandatorily required to be completed and the award needs to be passed. So the jurisdiction of these institutional arbitrators can be invoked upon a contract between the parties which stipulates for an arbitration clause which will designate an institution as the arbitration administrator. So these institutions have pre-established rules and procedures in order to conduct the arbitrations. So these institutions also have a list of qualified arbitrators from which the parties can choose, nominate, and appoint an arbitrator. So in December 2016, the Indian government constituted a high-level committee under the chairmanship of retired Justice B.N. Sri Krishna, the committee, which with the mandate in order to review and reform the institutionalization of arbitration. In order to promote the committee's report, a new bill was introduced, and that is the New Delhi International Arbitration Center Bill. So this bill was passed by both the houses of the Indian Parliament, and it was assented by the President of India as the New Delhi International Arbitration Center 2019 as on 26 July 2019. So this act provides for establishment and incorporation of the New Delhi International Arbitration Center, which can be known as NDIAC, for the purpose of creating an independent and autonomous regime for institutional arbitration. So basically this act provides some sections wherein the provisions are related. So in this act, the section 28 provides for the constitution of the chamber of the arbitration, which would impanel the arbitrators and also to scrutinize the applications for the admissions in the panel of reputed arbitrators in order to maintain a permanent panel of the arbitrators. So this chamber shall consist of experienced arbitrators who are of high reputation at the national and international level, and persons who are having the wide experience in the area of alternative dispute resolution and conciliation. So with this, the India is aiming and to strengthening the institutional arbitrator by providing a well laid down norms for these institutions to administer the arbitration in India. This is a step in order to raise the India's ranking in the global scenario and make it an arbitration hub. So this was the whole concept of ad hoc arbitration and institutional arbitration. Hope you understood this concept, and in the next video I will try to cover some more important topics of the Arbitration Act. Thank you for listening. Please share, like and subscribe our YouTube channel for more further content. Thank you.